Imagine waking up one morning to a bizarre silence. No crashing waves, no seagulls arguing over French fries, no misty breeze from the sea, just silence. You step outside and gasp. The oceans are gone, all of them, vanished into thin air, or rather, into thick, steamy, humid air, because Earth's oceans didn't drain or freeze. They evaporated, instantly. Now, before you scream into a seashell, let's be clear. We're talking about a science fiction level absurdity here. All of Earth's 1.4 billion cubic kilometers of seawater turned into vapor in the blink of an eye. A reality-defying, physics-mocking event that would make Poseidon do a double-take and then file a complaint with the laws of thermodynamics. But you're not here for realism, you're here for scientific mayhem. So, let's dive into a world where the seas boil off all at once and leave us stranded in a very sweaty apocalypse. First, let's talk humidity. If the oceans suddenly turned into vapor, that moisture has to go somewhere. Spoiler alert, it's into the atmosphere. And it would instantly become the thickest, most suffocating steam bath Earth has ever seen. You wouldn't be able to see more than a few meters ahead. Breathing would feel like inhaling through a damp sponge inside a sauna during a monsoon. Your lungs? Not happy. Your hair? Frizzed forever. The entire planet would become a foggy soup, and you'd be lucky to spot your own shoelaces. Now, here comes the real kicker. Heat. To instantly evaporate all that water, you'd need an energy input so massive, it makes the sun look lazy. We're talking more than 5 times 10 third-quart joules, enough to fry every known power grid, microwave every pizza on Earth, and still have enough left over to boil Jupiter's moons. But let's pretend that somehow that energy just happened. Maybe a rogue alien superweapon. Maybe a bored cosmic intern leaned on the wrong lever. Point is, it's hot. And that heat doesn't just vanish. It gets trapped in our shiny new ocean atmosphere, aka planet sauna. At this point, the surface of the Earth is unrecognizable. Where there were once oceans, there are now giant salt deserts, gleaming white and cracking under the heat. Sea creatures? Boiled. Coral reefs? Vaporized. Whales? Now just sad sky mist. Fishing industry? Cancelled. Beach tourism? Replaced by tumbleweeds and blistered sand. Meanwhile, the weather goes completely unhinged. With that much water vapor in the air, clouds explode into existence. You'd see the birth of the most monstrous thunderstorms ever recorded. Hurricanes? Try hypercanes. Megastorms with 500-plus mile PHO winds, forming every few hours. Lightning bolts would be so frequent, it'd feel like Earth was trying to turn itself into a disco ball made of pain. And when the vapor starts condensing, buckle up. Rainfall like you've never imagined. We're talking vertical oceans, sky waterfalls, continent-wide flash floods. The evaporation was instant, but the fallout will last decades. But it's not just the weather that's in chaos. Ecosystems would unravel faster than a cheap sweater. With no oceans, the entire marine food web collapses. Birds that depended on fish go hungry. Coastal animals find themselves living in salt flats. Meanwhile, plants struggle to cope with the heat and unpredictable rain. Agriculture? Toast. Global food supply? Buckling. Humanity? Panicking, especially climate scientists, who now alternate between sobbing and yelling, "I told you so." Oh, and don't forget the sea level. While it might seem like evaporation means dry land everywhere, you'd be wrong. That water vapor still counts as mass, and once it condenses, much of it is coming back down. Not as neatly organized oceans, but as chaotic inland seas, mega lakes in random basins, and new rivers flowing uphill if they feel like it. Your backyard might become beachfront property, or a boiling puddle. The atmospheric pressure would also spike like a soda can in a tumble dryer. With trillions of tons of vapor crammed into the air, every breath would be heavier, wetter, and more exhausting. You'd feel like you're constantly jogging underwater, even while standing still. And then there's the psychological toll. Imagine knowing that 70% of the planet's surface is now a dry, lifeless crust. No more calming ocean waves, no more surfing, no more romantic seaside walks, unless you count wandering a parched salt canyon holding hands while coughing into wet towels. Kids would grow up thinking dolphins were a myth, like unicorns or honest politicians. The ocean would become a legend, a bedtime story. Tell me again, Grandpa, about the great blue blanket that once covered the earth. Eventually, and we're talking thousands of years, the water cycle might stabilize. Maybe some of the vapor escapes to space. Maybe some settles into new lakes and seas. But Earth would never be the same. The balance of life, weather, and climate would remain scarred for millennia. So what if the oceans suddenly evaporated? In short, instant steam, global storms, wildlife collapse, unbearable heat, and the world's biggest case of climate whiplash. Oh, and surfers would definitely hold a grudge. Forever. Best not to mess with the water, folks. It may look calm and inviting, but if it ever decides to vanish, it's taking everything and everyone down with it.